John Wick 2. If you missed it, last week I announced that I'm reviewing all the John Wick movies, and nobody in the lead up to John Wick 4 coming out in March, and then after that I'll be doing the Evil Dead movies and lead up to the next Evil Dead movie. I really enjoyed John Wick 1. I thought it was a great movie. You can check out my review, but John Wick 2 is even better. And I think it's what's awesome about it is from the moment this movie starts, it starts with a Buster Keaton movie projected on the side of a building. And if you don't know who Buster Keaton is, he's one of the most legendary stunt actors of all time. And so you immediately know this movie is going to have amazing action, amazing stunts. And it absolutely has all that. And of course, the first John Wick definitely had some of that as well. But this movie ups the ante. This movie has so many incredible set pieces, action scenes, that it never lets up for a single minute, for the most part. I mean, there is moments where characters breathe, take a minute, but from action scene to action scene, this movie is enthralling. It is beautifully shot. The actual stunt choreography and the grind to how it's all comes together. Some of it was like, how did they even do that? And that's kind of how you feel watching some of the Mission Impossible movies, and you kind of feel that here too. It's really awesome. And Keanu Reeves continues to be great in this part, and the rest of the cast. But also, as I mentioned in the first review, I mentioned the Continental and how they kind of introduced this concept. Well, that was just the introduction. You really get the expansion of the Continental and its politics and who runs within it, how all that works, the different mob bosses. This is basically a very violent action mob boss movie in the John Wick universe. Though most of it is just a straight up action movie. It's not slow like something like The Godfather. And that's not to insult The Godfather or anything. Obviously, one of the greatest films ever made. But you know what I mean. It's just got this grit to it and this pace to it, and it's just really fascinating. You want to know more about this world, these characters, what's going on with them, how they come together, and that's why I think there definitely is this interesting Continental series coming out to Peacock with Mel Gibson, I believe. I think it was the Continental. I think there's actually multiple John Wick shows in development. I'm not really sure. But whatever, and so you see why that stuff is happening, right? Because John Wick is such a, interesting world. They built this all out. You understand not only our main character, but how this world works. And some of it, towards the end of it, gets a little absurd and kind of ridiculous with the, how many, hitmen there are just out in broad daylight in New York. I'm like, all right, that's a little absurd. But other than that, I thought this was just a really solid sequel to a movie that's really already good on its own. But this movie is just better than the first John Wick movie. It's just a stronger movie. The action's more memorable. It's better paced, which is weird to say for a movie that's actually longer than its predecessor. It's a better paced movie. And this is one of the few sequels that understands when you're upping the ante for a sequel, there's a way to do that right and there's a way to do that wrong. And so many sequels have this idea of we need to make bigger, right? And they definitely do that with the action here, but they do it in a way that feels satisfying, that feels like, yes, let's go. And I absolutely enjoyed it.